Alright, hey guys, it's Kevin again, and I want to apologize for the video that I uploaded a couple hours ago. If you guys saw my Girl Meets World Season 2, Episode 23 of your Girl Meets the Forgiveness Project, you will see that like a minute and 23 seconds in, the audio just cuts out. It works fine, and then it cuts out, and I've never seen that happen before. So that's why this says, reshot, because I had to redo the entire video. There is no way for me to fix that video, and if you guys have seen it, I mean, it has like 88 views, which I don't understand. Why would you guys like the video if there's no sound? I wouldn't like a video if there's like a minute of it. But whatever. Let's just get into this episode because I talked about it, but then my audio cut out, so I figured, I should talk about it again. So let's just get into it. Basic idea of this episode was that Corey told the class that, of course, they always study like world wars, things like that, but he wants to apply it to their real life. So he talks to them about forgiveness and does something that I think is actually very important. He tells them to each get a piece of paper and write down someone that they would want to forgive. And we then are broke into a three-act story, pretty much. Well, not like a three-act, but three different plots going on. Usually the show has two plots, but this had three plots, and our main one had to do with, one was like funny, one was actually pretty heartwarming, the other one was pretty fucking sad. And let's get into the one that was really sad first, because that was the main one. The main one had to do with Maya. Basically, um, we see at first we basically see what everyone is gonna do. We first see that Riley is mad at Augie because he bit the head off of her teddy bear, and Corey says that's her fault that she hasn't grown out of it. I think we all go through that stage at one point where we have something. I had a teddy bear once. I've had it for like several years. I still have it. It's beaten up. I don't use it obviously, but it's still in my house. I never use it, but um Farkle, meanwhile, Lucas and Zay are mad at Farkle for something, which I'll get into. But first, let's go to Maya. So basically, Katy and Topanga are at Topanga's, and Katy wants to take a little break from her shift, so Topanga offers to take over. So Katy teaches her how to be a waitress, and along the way, we see that she's, teaching her what to do, and then she sees Kermit, and I love the part where she puts food in his face, and Topanga's like, oh, you do that? I want to do that. So yes, Maya has now brought back Kermit, and this was a huge deal, because now we got to see Kermit, and, it was awesome to finally see his character. It's someone we'd need to see for a while, and I love that. Basically, Kermit is there because Kermit is there because Maya wants to forgive him. All this time, she's wanted to forgive him all this time, and you see that he wants to make an effort to connect with her. Something I like that we find out here is that he's not a bad man. Kermit is not a bad man by any means. Riley is obviously shocked that Maya did this, but she really wants to connect with Kermit. You can tell that he wants to connect with her, but she just doesn't want to talk to him. Katy doesn't want anything to do with him. Maya really doesn't either, which is understandable. I mean, we find out that not only did he leave them, but he had said that he would, like, go out grocery shopping or something and then didn't come back. I mean, that is a low blow right there. Like, it does not get worse than that. I felt so bad for Katy and Maya. I mean, we already knew they've been through so much, but that's even worse than what we thought they could have gone through. And it's really sad, but it seems like things aren't going to work out there. Meanwhile, Riley apologized to Augie. He has no idea what she is really apologizing him for. It's pretty funny. She's telling him, "I forgive you for what you did with the bear and everything." It was definitely a very funny scene. I really enjoyed that. But then you have Lucas and Zay, who by far had the funniest stuff in the episode. As I said before, anything that Zay says at this point is hilarious, and I really hope they make a main character next year. My fear is that the graduation episode is coming up, so I don't know if they're going to be able to, if he's still going to be on the show. I hope he is, because he just fits right in. Like, he fits right in with the four, with the four of them, and he just works perfectly. I'm loving Zay as a character. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I'm loving him as a character. Basically, they are pissed at Farkle because he always spoils movies. And I'm not saying like Farkle has seen these movies. No, he literally predicts the ending of movies before they see them, and it has caused everyone to not want to see movies with him. It's very funny. So Lucas and Zay offer to take him to the movies after Maya and Riley say it's never going to happen. They decide to take him back, and then we basically see that they're telling Corey that this isn't working. This isn't working. They wish it was working, but unfortunately, it's not working. And I like what Corey tells them. He tells them, did they actually understand why they did what they did? Did Riley understand why Augie bit the head off of her teddy bear? Did Maya understand why Kermit left? And did Lucas and Zay understand why Farkle does that. So right away we get why Farkle tells him the endings, and he says he does it because he wants to be seen as more intelligent than them, because he thinks that's why they're friends, because he's more intelligent. And Lucas and Zay basically say, "Oh, well, we're never going in the movies again with you." But then Maya and Riley tell him that they still love him and that they will always go to the movies with him. And I love when Zay's like, "You know what? We got to be smarter here." I mean, that's just great. Like I said, anything that Zay says is hilarious. I definitely love that. Very funny stuff there. So basically, then we get the conclusion. So we get the conclusion of that. Then we see Riley, and Riley apologize. Basically, Riley asks Augie why he bit the head off of her teddy bear, because obviously she wants to know why. Why would you just randomly do that? And I was thinking it was going to be something like he was jealous or that he wanted it and things like that, but no, it's a bit more interesting what he did. He basically did it because Riley spent so much time with Maya that he felt that this could bring them closer because, she spent more time with him and he wanted her to spend more time with him because it was something of hers, and it was really sweet overall. But basically, for the rest of the episode, because of Augie saying he wants to be there more, he is on Riley's lap for like the rest of the episode. He's basically stuck to Riley. I mean, really, really funny to see that. Really funny stuff there. But then we get to what I know you guys really want me to talk about, the Maya and Kermit scene. Holy shit. I mean, it does not get more emotional than this. This was probably one of the most emotional scenes we've had in the entire show. Definitely really emotional stuff here, because all this time Maya has felt like this was her fault, that she caused this, that because of her because of her acting out or because of her rebellious behavior or whatever, she was the cause of this. And finally Kermit tells her that she wasn't the cause, that he left because he wasn't ready to start a family and he was scared. And while Maya understands that, people are like, well, why can't she forgive him? I think it's because of the fact that now he has another family. He has someone else. So if he didn't, now even though he has this other family, why couldn't he have just gone back to them? That's the big question. I mean, he's just now turned up after many years, and Maya sadly can't forgive him. She wants to forgive him, but she can't. And it very much is a parallel to Shawn, which with him and Chet. I mean, he never forgave Chet till he died, and I really feel that's gonna be the same kind of situation with Maya. In fact, I think it's gonna take even longer. I wouldn't be surprised if this takes Maya till she's like graduating high school. In fact, Corey says something to her that I think is very astute, and I think is definitely something that really sums up a lot of people that leave and things like this. He says that, forgiveness like this just takes a lot of time. This is something where, because Maya says that she failed him, and Sabrina Carpenter in this scene, holy shit, she was amazing. Of course, Rowan Blanchard is great as well in the scene with Augie, but this scene specifically with Sabrina Carpenter, I mean, this was definitely her episode. There are some episodes that are Rowan Blanchard's episode, there are some episodes that are Sabrina Carpenter episode. This was a Sabrina Carpenter episode. And this also really does go with the idea I said in the last review, something you guys can actually hear in that review. I talked about how they said simple story portion of the show is over. This is the perfect example of that. This isn't just something that they're going to solve in 23 minutes. That's what I love about Girl Meets World. Most sitcoms, things are solved like that. There are two shows I know that don't do that. Only two sitcoms I watch that really don't do that. You're the Worst and Girl Meets World. They don't solve things within 23 minutes. And this is a perfect example of that, because, it's going to take Maya some time to forgive her father. It's going to take Maya some time. Corey says that these things take time, and he understands that she can't forgive him right now, and she just breaks down crying and says that, Riley and her family are more of, because Corey's been more of a father to her than Kermit has, and it's a really emotional scene, the scene where she's crying. You can see how much Corey probably remembers how Shawn felt. I mean, I think that's why Corey has so much compassion, because he knows how Shawn and Chet were, and he knows it's very reminiscent to Maya and Kermit's situation, which is my only complaint with the episode, that Shawn didn't show up. I think this was a situation where we needed to see Shawn. We could have had a great scene with Shawn saying, "I know what you're going through." We still can do it. I just felt like this episode we needed that, although we didn't get it. I was still fine with that. I was fine that we didn't get it. I thought it was still a great scene overall and really paid off very well for the episode. And then the ending of the episode is just great. I love the ending here. By the way, guys, not many Lucaya or Rucus moments in this episode. I don't watch the show for that. I don't. But it does appear that Lucas and Maya might still be dating. I mean, we don't know if they broke things off in the last episode. We don't know that. We know that they obviously were bored to tears, but there was a scene in this episode that suggests that maybe they're still dating. I'm not really sure. We don't know what's going on with them. It's not really that important right now in this episode, but basically we see at the ending that Farkle, basically Augie asked to be let go of Riley, which is definitely very funny. I really enjoyed that. And then the ending with Corey and Topanga. A lot of people are talking about this. Topanga gives Corey 3 forgiveness notes of things she forgives him for. Now, these 3 things I think are all tie-ins to Boy Meets World. One of them is definitely Lauren, because obviously he left her for Lauren. He fell in love with Lauren. That's why they broke up in season 5. There's that. The other one I feel like has to do with that when her and Shawn, if you remember when her and Shawn got together, I think she forgives him, for not for freaking, because, he thought that they were together. It was actually just for a student film. I think that's another one. The other one, I don't know what it's for. Maybe it's when they broke up or something. Actually, I feel like the last one has to do with their honeymoon. How Eric, how he screwed up their honeymoon and things like that. I think that's one where Corey's like, yeah, that was my fault. I think that was definitely the one where Corey was like that. I mean, probably the Lauren one as well, but I think those are the 3 things she gave in the notes too, if you guys are wondering. But overall, guys, amazing episode, obviously. So many great scenes in this episode, and I just love the message. I mean, forgiveness is a hard thing to do. It is really hard to forgive someone after a lot of shit they put you through. You have to do it, but this episode shows that in certain situations, you just can't. I mean, in something in Maya's case, and in Shawn's case, it is very hard to forgive someone you barely know. Maya could have a really great relationship with Kermit. In fact, one of my favorite scenes is the moment where she's saying, where she's telling him about this memory that she didn't have and that she wished he was there for. Just a really powerful scene. You really see the true emotion and pain that Maya is going through, and I really felt bad for her because of this, definitely. Really emotional stuff there. But overall, guys, like I said, amazing message, amazing episode overall. We only have a few episodes left. I think we're going like 6 episodes left, because I know there's Girl Meets Belief, then there's Girl Meets New Year's, then there's Girl Meets Sludge, and then I think it's the 3-part, because I know the graduation is a 3-parter. But overall, guys, at this point, I'm just waiting for the season to end, because I don't know how many episodes are left. I think they're trying to get to 30 episodes, which is crazy. But for Disney Channel, I've seen them do that before. The more Girl Meets World, the better. That's what I say. The more Girl Meets World, the better. This episode was definitely up there with some of the best ones, and it was cool to see an episode that wasn't Girl Meets Texas. Not that I didn't like those episodes, but it was cool to see something back from that, back from that storyline. I know a lot of people didn't like that storyline, thought it was fan service. I personally love that storyline, but I think they handled it very well. But stuff like this, they do a lot better. Definitely things like this. But let me know what you guys saw this episode. Sorry I had to redo the episode. Don't watch the last review, watch this review. This is the one that you need to watch, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for a movie review, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.